I mean, I guess that's kind of like me being a submissive woman too. Like I could make more. I mean, usually I make more money than the men I'm with. Unfortunately, it was even in that case of with the older man. So that's kind of where I live at. But like, how do you feel when it comes to? I mean, maybe not in your guys's element, the woman's making more money than you, but how do you guys feel about that? And that's kind of just like more advice on for myself as well, because that's kind of where I'm struggling at is like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be the dominant person in a relationship too. I don't really want to always date older men, but then if I do date younger men, and again, like in my dating pool, it's unfortunately I am making like 2 or 3 times more money than the male. So it's kind of like I've literally even had comments to myself like, I'll just be a stay-at-home dad. And I'm like, I don't like that. I'm like,
Yeah.
I just it
Mm.
and like there again, that's like that feminine area, which I don't think is okay. I mean, I don't think it's wrong for a man to have like his feminine side to him, but I am more struck for a dominant male perspective in my life.
Yeah, I think, Golly, honestly, like my honest assessment for you is that I think you've experienced this for yourself a little bit. Like I think you got a tough road ahead, a little tougher than you might like. I mean, I think that what happens is what you're asking yourself to do is you're basically trying to override your own biology. Like you are programmed, like you want to date a guy that makes more money and is more competent than you and you can learn from. That's why you're like, yeah, I like dating older guys because they can teach me shit and I can learn from them and things like that. That stuff is inherently attractive to you. And, it's like now you're going to run into a guy who's like, hey, I don't like when you do that. Hey, I don't like when you do that. You're like, well, I pay the fucking bill. So like you fucking boss me around. What's wrong with you? I think like honestly, it's like tough with 2 kids in tow, being a single mom, especially 2 kids from 2 different fathers. Again, I know you didn't ask for this, and this, is not, things happen, right? I just think it's gonna put you in a category where I think like you are going to struggle a little bit finding that guy that really fits that mold that you want. And I'm not speculating and I'm not trying to bully you or anything like that. And I know that I ask women a lot, especially divorcees, like, hey, do you want to get married again? He's like, well, if it happens, it happens, but I'm not really putting that much stake into it. It's like, well, I can tell you if that's actually how you feel about it, then the likelihood is a lot slimmer because when it comes to it's hard enough to find a good relationship or a good person to marry that you actually like. And when you're trying really hard, when you're actually out in there and putting your best foot forward on the playing field, and if you're taking a more passive approach, it's going to be 10x, 100x harder combined with, some of these other things that some guys see as potential hazards, right? Multiple kids, potential drama with children's fathers, things like that, that sort of thing. So I think, my real advice for you would be to really take some time and really think hard about if the remarriage and if being in another relationship, if you're maybe underselling yourself and how important it is. It's really easy for us to say like, and I run into guys that do this all the time. So I'm not trying to pick on you, where guys will say, hey, like I'm not dating right now because I'm focused on my business, or I'm just super busy with work. I don't have time to date. When in reality, they do have time, but they know they're just going to get obliterated out there because they don't have what girls really want. So they say like, nah, I don't have time for it, or it's not a priority, when in reality they do, but they're choosing not to because it's the rejection they're afraid of and things like that. And I know I'm going off on this tangent again. I promise I'm wrapping it up.
No,
I
you
promise
like
I'm
hit it
wrapping it up.
to the
But real quick, let me wrap it up. So, but my thing is, it's just, I think maybe taking some time and asking yourself, like, is this more important to me than I'm leading on? Is it really something that I could take it or leave it? And it's okay, fine. But I think a lot of women will say, it's not that important. And like deep down, that intuition is like, no, it's important. It's important. It's important. And then that whisper grows and now it's a shout. And now it's 10, 15 years down the road and you've neglected it. And now it's like, well, fuck, now what do I do? So that's my that's my unsolicited advice would be really take some time and think about, maybe you're underselling how much it's important. Maybe it's not important to you at all. Maybe it's passive, but maybe there's a part of you that wants it a little
Yeah.
more than you're leading on.
I mean, I think that it definitely has a little bit of some leftover feelings, but I mean, it is a little bit more on the passive side. I've definitely worked
Okay.
on myself, but I mean, I've done the modeling industry. I've been an Instagram model, all this stuff. So it's like funny though, like how now I'm like in my undergrad from bachelor. So I have 2 master degrees and I'm a national teacher. It's like no one cares about me. And then
They
when I
don't. They don't
was
care about that though. The guys don't.
right,
Guys don't care
and
about your
then
degrees and like your
yeah,
mahogany, this and that. Like they don't care about the
but
work
then when I
ethic.
was an
They want.
Instagram model, everyone
There you go.
loved me. But if I was
Right.
like, unfortunately, like society's level of just a a dumb
But that's
a dumb
biology,
girl, I
right?
was like, I
That's
don't know. I was
biology.
like,
Like
that's
that's always been what men have wanted from women is sexual attraction and
mhm.
intimacy from hot women. We've never, been like, oh, like there's never been a time in history where guys been like, wow, look at her wall of accomplishments. That really gets me going. It's just
I
never
have a
been that way.
question. I
Yeah,
have
go
a
ahead.
question. Okay, so there's been a lot of memes that I've seen where it's like the girl will dress up as the outfit that he just like the picture of on Instagram from like some Instagram hoe or some shit. And like she'll wear it and then he'll be like, why are you wearing that? And it's like legit the same outfit, like the same exact outfit. Like she bought it exactly. And then he was like, no, don't wear it. And then she's like, well, you like this picture. And then they trip out. So my question is, why do you guys like pictures of girls that wear skimpy stuff, but you don't like your girl to wear that?
I don't recommend guys like those photos.
Correct. First of all, don't like
Right?
girls'
And I
photos.
don't like those
Thank
photos. I
you.
don't. No.
Thank you.
I don't think you should like
I'll-
girls' photos ever. I don't even care if she's your wife. Don't like her
Thank you.
photos.
See, you're a
Yes.
gentleman.
Yeah.
You're a gentleman.
I
No,
think
Spence.
it's-
go
Yeah, I
ahead.
don't like
think
that.
it's
That's
Hold on, real
fuckboy
quick. Spence,
activity.
continue real quick. Did you have more on
I'll
that?
like the photo if it's you're in school and you just
Yeah,
finished
like
and you got your
genuine.
degree, or you just bought a new car or paid off your house or whatever, something like
Not
that.
your
It's
stripper
like
picture.
you have some accomplishment. I will like that. Like the photo, but
Mm.
I'm
But it
not
doesn't make me
liking
wanna date
something
you.
just because, yeah, it also doesn't make me want to date you, but I'm not going to like the photo just because you put your ass on there in a bikini.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting trend. I haven't heard about that, but I think really it's about like this in that particular scenario, that guy, men want to protect women. Men like a woman that's pure. They want to protect their woman. They don't want their woman's gaze to be, they don't want other men's gaze on their woman. They're not particularly tied to some Instagram model or anything like that or whatever, but they have, because they have no, it's the same thing where I was asking earlier. It's like, well, what do you mean? Do I have to love all women, respect all women? Because that doesn't even make sense to me. Why would I care equally about like woman I'm dating or the mother of my kids and some random girl that I don't know on Instagram? So it has to do with that. It all has to do with a man's level of investment and his woman being his woman and being only reserving those things for him behind the scenes and not having that out there broadcast for other guys.
All right, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed that clip. If you want to check out the full-length podcast episode, you can find that right over here. Also, make sure you visit my website over here where you'll find my supplements, the opportunity to book me privately one-on-one for coaching, and most importantly, my new School of Unplugging, which you'll find on the courses tab. Newer to the channel, hit subscribe.